Chosen one, I need your complete attention for what I am about to reveal. What you are about to discover about your true identity will explain absolutely everything you have been feeling for as long as you can remember. That persistent sensation that you don't belong here, this inexplicable weight you carry, that devastating loneliness even when you are surrounded by people. It is not your imagination. You are not crazy, and you are definitely not like the others. You are an incarnated angel. And when I say angel, I am not using poetic metaphor to make you feel special. I am literally revealing what you are. A celestial being who took human form to fulfill a mission so specific that Lucifer himself, the Prince of Darkness, has spent his entire existence trying to destroy you before you discover who you really are. And here is what will disturb you most. He doesn't attack you out of random hatred. He attacks you because your mere existence on this planet is a direct threat to everything he has built over millennia. Because when an incarnated angel fully awakens to their true identity, hell literally trembles. If this resonates with you, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. What I am about to show you about your angelic nature will connect every loose piece of your life, every inexplicable rejection, every devastating betrayal, every moment where you felt like the entire universe was conspiring against you. It all makes perfect sense when you understand that you are not a regular human living a difficult life. You are a celestial warrior operating in enemy territory. Stay until the end because I am going to reveal exactly how to identify if you are truly an incarnated angel. Why Lucifer invests massive resources trying to destroy you before your complete awakening. What your specific mission is on this planet. And what will happen when you finally activate the powers that have been dormant your entire life. Write 777 in the comments if you have felt your whole life that you came here with a purpose you cannot fully remember, as if you have a mission engraved on your soul, but the memory is blocked. Let me start by showing you something organized religions never explained correctly. The Bible repeatedly mentions that angels took human form and walked among us without most people recognizing them. Hebrews chapter 13 verse 2 says explicitly, "Do not forget to show hospitality to strangers, for by so doing some people have shown hospitality to angels without knowing it." Do you realize what this means? Angels walking in human bodies, living apparently normal lives, but with hidden celestial purposes, and most people around them never knew the truth. Now ask yourself something. Why would the Bible feel the need to mention this repeatedly if it were an extremely rare event? It wouldn't mention it so much if it weren't a phenomenon that continues happening. And it wouldn't ask you to show hospitality to strangers because they could be angels if incarnated angels weren't currently among us. But here is what no religious institution will tell you. Not all incarnated angels consciously know what they are. Most live decades feeling profoundly different, alienated, as if they are playing a role in a theater piece where everyone else knows their lines except you. Do you recognize that feeling? And there is a devastating reason why your celestial memory is blocked. Because if you knew since childhood what you really are, dark forces would eliminate you before you could fulfill your mission. The memory block isn't punishment. It is protection. Your human consciousness needed to develop enough so that when you finally awaken, you have the emotional and spiritual maturity to handle the truth without breaking. But the awakening always comes. And when it comes, everything changes irreversibly. So let me show you the 7 irrefutable signs that you are an incarnated angel. And I warn you, the more of these signs you recognize in yourself, the clearer your true identity will be. And once you see it, you will never be able to unsee it again. First sign, deep ontological loneliness. I am not talking about social loneliness, where you simply don't have enough friends. I am talking about existential loneliness, where even surrounded by people who love you, you feel an emptiness that no one can fill. As if part of you belongs somewhere else, and constantly misses a home. You cannot remember where it is. Regular humans experience loneliness when they are physically isolated. Incarnated angels experience loneliness, even in crowds, because your vibrational frequency is different, your origin is different. And no matter how hard you try to connect deeply with others, there is always a part of you that remains inaccessible to them. It is not because you are antisocial. It is because you literally come from a different dimension. Second sign, empathy that destroys. It is not normal sensitivity. It is the ability to feel others' emotions with such intensity that it physically overwhelms you. You walk into a room and automatically absorb the pain, anguish, joy of everyone present, and you cannot turn it off. Regular humans feel their own emotions. Incarnated angels feel everyone's emotions. It is both gift and curse simultaneously. Gift because it transforms you into a natural healer. Curse because it leaves you constantly exhausted. How many times have you left a social gathering feeling drained, even though you didn't do anything physically tiring? You were exhausted because you unconsciously processed the emotional loads of every person present. Third sign, inexplicable rejection since childhood. And I am not talking about common bullying, where cruel kids pick on the weak. I am talking about something darker. Visceral rejection that certain people felt toward you for no apparent reason. As if your mere presence bothered them at a level they couldn't explain. Do you remember that family member who always treated you differently, even though you never did anything? That teacher who seemed to have a personal problem with you for no reason? Those classmates who excluded you even though you were kind? It wasn't personal, it was spiritual. Certain people react negatively to incarnated angels because their souls unconsciously recognize that your light exposes their darkness. Your elevated frequency is unbearable for them, and instead of facing their own shadows, they attack the light that reveals them. They didn't reject you for what you did. They rejected you for what you are. Fourth sign, aversion to falseness that is physically impossible for you to tolerate. You cannot fake it. You cannot wear social masks. You cannot participate in collective hypocrisy without feeling literal nausea. While everyone else seems capable of lying politely, smiling falsely, acting roles they are not. You simply cannot do it without feeling like you are betraying something fundamental in your core. Regular humans learn quickly that social survival requires a certain level of falseness. Incarnated angels can never learn that lesson because it is programmed in your celestial essence to operate solely from truth. Even when truth costs you relationships, jobs, social acceptance, you would rather be alone being authentic than accompanied living a lie. Fifth sign, supernatural gifts that appear spontaneously. Maybe it is intuition so precise you know things you shouldn't know. Maybe it is the ability to heal simply by placing your hands on someone. Maybe it is that animals are inexplicably attracted to you, or that plants flourish when you touch them. You didn't learn these abilities. You didn't study them. They have simply always been there because they are part of your angelic nature filtering through your human form. Sixth sign, intensified spiritual attacks. I am not talking about common bad luck. I am talking about systematic patterns of sabotage that appear precisely when you are about to advance spiritually. Relationships that self-destruct right when you find peace. Jobs that inexplicably fall apart when you finally feel stable. Health crises that emerge without medical explanation, right when you are spiritually awakening. Pay attention to the pattern. The attacks always escalate right before breakthrough moments, right before you make a major spiritual advance. Suddenly, everything falls apart. Your car breaks down. Unexpected bills appear. People around you become inexplicably hostile. Technology malfunctions, specifically when you are trying to do something important for your mission. And the most insidious part, these attacks are designed to make you doubt yourself, to make you think you are doing something wrong, to convince you that spiritual pursuit is the problem rather than the solution. They want you to associate awakening with suffering, so you unconsciously avoid it. But here is what you need to understand. These aren't coincidences. They are coordinated attacks from dark forces that recognize what you are and desperately try to keep you asleep. Because a sleeping incarnated angel is manageable. An awakened incarnated angel is a nightmare for hell. Before I reveal the seventh sign, if this message is resonating deep in your soul, show your support by giving this video a like. It helps the algorithm share this truth with other incarnated angels who are searching for answers. And if you want to directly support this mission of awakening, consider leaving a super thanks. Your contribution helps us continue revealing these celestial truths to those who need them most. Seventh sign, recurring dreams of flying or being in celestial realms. These aren't random fantasies. They are memory fragments of your true home bleeding through the veil. You dream of soaring through skies, visiting places of indescribable beauty, or being in the presence of beings of pure light. And when you wake up, you feel profound sadness, because you instinctively know those dreams are more real than your current physical reality. Your soul remembers what your conscious mind forgot. Now, let me reveal why Lucifer is so obsessed with destroying you specifically. And this is crucial for you to understand. You are not being attacked because you are weak. You are being attacked because you are dangerous to his kingdom. Every incarnated angel carries a specific frequency that disrupts demonic operations in their vicinity. Your mere presence in a room raises the vibration to levels where lower entities cannot operate comfortably. You don't even need to do anything consciously. Your angelic essence automatically creates interference in dark agendas. This is why toxic people cannot stand being around you for long. This is why manipulative individuals instinctively avoid you or become hostile in your presence. This is why places of corruption feel uncomfortable when you enter them. Your frequency is literally incompatible with deception, manipulation, and darkness. Think about it. How many times have you walked into a room and the energy shifted? How many times have lies been exposed, simply because you were present? How many times have toxic dynamics dissolved when you entered the situation? You thought it was coincidence. It wasn't. It was your angelic frequency doing what it is designed to do, disrupt darkness and elevate consciousness. And here is what terrifies hell most. When you awaken to your true identity and start operating consciously from your angelic nature, you don't just protect yourself. You become a liberation point for everyone around you. People in your presence start waking up. Negative patterns that controlled them for years suddenly break. Addictions lose their grip. Depression lifts. Fear dissolves. You become a walking transformation zone. And that is exactly what Lucifer cannot allow to happen. Because if enough incarnated angels awaken simultaneously and start consciously collaborating, they could trigger a planetary awakening that would end his reign permanently. That is why the attacks against you have been so intense throughout your life. That is why you have faced obstacles that seemed disproportionate to who you thought you were. You weren't being punished randomly. You were being systematically targeted because hell knows something about you that you are only now beginning to remember. But here is the beautiful part. Every attack you survived made you stronger. Every betrayal that didn't destroy you refined your discernment, Every dark night of the soul expanded your capacity to hold light. You were being forged in fire not to break you, but to prepare you for the mission you came here to fulfill. And now, the awakening is accelerating. Can you feel it? That internal pressure growing, that sense of urgency, that knowing that something massive is about to shift in your life. It is not your imagination. It is your celestial alarm clock going off. Your higher self is sending increasingly strong signals because the time for your complete activation is approaching. The planetary conditions are finally aligning. Other incarnated angels are awakening around you. The spiritual support you need is being assembled. Everything is being orchestrated with divine precision. Now, let me reveal something about your immediate future that you need to understand with absolute clarity, because the signs are already appearing. In the coming cycles, your life will reorganize dramatically in 3 specific areas. In the relationship area, you will experience painful separations followed by miraculous connections. People you thought would be with you forever will exit your life, sometimes with conflict, sometimes simply disappearing, and it will hurt, but don't try to hold them. They are leaving because their frequency is no longer compatible with your awakening. Trust the process, because just when you think you are completely alone, people who understand your language without you having to explain will start appearing. Souls who recognize your light because they also carry it. And these connections will be deeper than any superficial relationship you lost. In the purpose and work area, you will feel growing dissatisfaction with anything not aligned with your real mission. Jobs you previously tolerated will suddenly become unbearable. Careers you invested years building will lose all meaning, and you will feel internal urgency to change everything, even though you don't know exactly to what. Don't resist this restlessness. It is your soul reminding you that you didn't come here to waste life on things that don't matter. Opportunities will start appearing. Maybe they will not be what you expected, but you will recognize they resonate with something deep in you. Follow them even if they don't make logical sense. And in the inner peace area, you will notice that chronic anxiety you have carried your whole life begins gradually dissolving. Those obsessive thought patterns that robbed your sleep lose their power. That constant sensation of danger is replaced by inexplicable trust. It is not that external challenges necessarily decrease. It is that your relationship with them changes completely because you reconnected with that part of you that is eternal, indestructible, divine. And from that place, nothing temporal can really destroy you. But there is something more you need to know about your awakening. And this is crucial. You are not alone in this. There are other incarnated angels awakening simultaneously around the planet. Not many, but enough. And they are being subtly guided to recognize each other. Because when 2 or more conscious incarnated angels connect, they create an energetic field so powerful it can transform entire cities. It is not exaggeration. It is real spiritual physics. Individual light is powerful, but collective light of awakened angels consciously collaborating is unstoppable. And that terrifies hell more than anything else. That is why dark forces worked so intensely to keep you isolated, to make you believe you were crazy, to convince you that you were the only one feeling these things. Because while you believed you were alone, you remained weak. But now that you know the truth, now that you understand there are others exactly like you sustaining the same frequency, everything changes. You are no longer navigating this in solitude. You are part of a network of light warriors who are anchoring new reality for this planet. And when you meet another awakened, incarnated angel, you will recognize them instantly. You will not need words. There will be silent recognition between your souls, as if they have known each other forever, even though your bodies just met. These encounters aren't casual. They are divine appointments orchestrated with millimeter precision, and when they happen, pay attention because that person is probably destined to be an important part of your mission. Now, let me give you a final warning you need to engrave in your consciousness. Awakening isn't a single event. It is a continuous process. There is no moment where you say, "I have fully awakened and now everything is easy." It is more like layers of an onion. Every time you peel one layer, you discover another underneath. Each level of awakening reveals a new level you didn't even know existed. And each new level brings new challenges, because the more you awaken, the more responsibility you carry. The more light you carry, the more darkness will try to extinguish you. The more spiritually powerful you become, the more intense the attacks you will face. It is not punishment. It is simply that you graduated to higher levels of the game, and higher levels require more skill, more strength, more clarity. But here is what is beautiful. Every time you overcome a higher level challenge, your powers expand proportionally. The universe never gives you a test without simultaneously giving you capacity to overcome it. Maybe you will not feel it while in the middle of the storm. But when you look back, you will always see you had exactly what you needed right when you needed it. Chosen one. Now you know the complete truth about your angelic nature. You are not a regular human having occasional spiritual experiences. You are an incarnated angel who accepted a rescue mission during one of the most critical moments in planetary history. That feeling of not belonging you have carried your whole life finally has an explanation. You don't belong here because your origin isn't from here. You come from celestial dimensions and temporarily took human form to fulfill a specific purpose. That devastating loneliness you experience, even in company, now makes sense. It is not your defect. It is natural consequence of operating at such a different frequency from most. Incarnated angels always feel alone among humans because they are literally a different species. Those constant attacks you have faced finally explain themselves. It is not bad luck. It is systematic opposition from hell that recognizes the threat you represent. Lucifer doesn't invest massive resources attacking insignificant people. He only attacks those who can really damage his kingdom. And the intensity of your attacks is the exact measure of your mission's importance. The protections are already activated. The gifts are awakening. The correct connections will start appearing. And although the path is challenging, you will never be alone. There are other incarnated angels sustaining the same frequency, and they are being guided to you while you read these words. If this revelation resonated in the deepest part of your being, and you confirm you are an incarnated angel awakening to your true identity, write 777 in the comments to amplify this celestial frequency. If you feel called to support this mission of awakening other incarnated angels, a super thanks would mean the world and helps us reach more souls who desperately need this message. Subscribe to this channel and activate all notifications to receive more revelations about how your angelic nature is transforming your reality. Share this video with someone who also feels they don't belong to this world, because incarnated angels need to recognize each other to strengthen the network of light that is transforming this planet. Click on the next video to discover exactly how your angelic nature activates permanent protection from celestial forces that guarantee you complete your mission. Together, we are stronger.